Hi scholars, today we are going to be doing Module 5, Lesson 3. So go ahead and open up your packet or have this page open. Let's start with our word problem. We're going to read it together. Mark up the problem while we read. Zoe draws 13 triangles. Skylar draws 21 triangles. How many more triangles does Skylar draw than Zoe? You're going to take the time now to pause the video, read, draw, write, and when you're done, go ahead and press play. Let's go over it together. So here's what your marked up problem should look like. You should have this number 13 circled and Skylar's 21 circled. Now we're looking for how many more. In your head, think back to that anchor chart that has addition words and subtraction words. I remember that how many more is a type of phrase that tells us that we're going to do subtraction. So I know in my head that I'm going to need to do a subtraction number sentence. So we read the problem and we marked it up. Now we are going to draw using labels. So you can either draw the number of triangles just like Zoe and Skylar, or you can use a tape diagram. And I think I'm going to use a tape diagram because it's a little bit more organized and easier for me to see and work with. So I'm going to set up my tape diagram just like that. Make sure I get the lines on top. Right there, right there. Cool. Now, Zoe draws 13 and Skylar draws 21. We're looking for how many more triangles Skylar drew than Zoe. If we're looking for how many more, I know we're going to do a subtraction number sentence, and I know that I'm looking for a part. That means that between 13 and 21, I need to figure out which one is my total. If I have the numbers 13 and 21, I know that 21, the bigger number, must be my total because it's bigger than 13. So I'm going to write 21 right there in that spot. Cool. Now I can fill in my tape diagram with Zoe's 13 triangles. I'm going to draw 1 10-stick and 3 ones. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to label it on top 13, and on the bottom I'm going to label it Z for Zoe. Great. Now looking at my tape diagram, I see that I have the total and one of my parts. That means I'm missing the other part. So I'm going to set up a subtraction number sentence to help me solve. So I'm going to have something minus something equals blank. Great. Now I can use, I know that 21 is my total, and in a subtraction number sentence, the total always comes first. I'm going to write 21. Then I'm going to subtract my part of 13. I'm going to write 13. Now I can either count up or count down. If I count up, that means I need to grab 13 and count up to 21. If I grab 21 and count down to 13, I can solve it that way too. I think I would like to solve by grabbing 13 and counting on to 21. Let's do it together. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm holding up 8 fingers. That means my answer is 8. I'm going to write an 8. Then I'm going to write 8 in this box and label it down here for, I'm going to label it M for more because Skylar drew 8 more than Zoe. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm going to fill in my answer statement. Skylar drew 8 more triangles than Zoe. Turn the page. You got it. Let's keep going. So today we're going to be talking about three-dimensional or 3D shapes. 3D shapes are shapes that have many sides, and you can often find them in places in our classroom and in your home. I found a few examples around my house, and then I'm going to ask you to find some and draw them on this page. Find some 3D objects that are in your home. So let's start off. First, we have a sphere. Say the word sphere. That shape looks like a basketball or an orange. It's perfectly round and has no straight sides or edges. So we have a sphere, like an orange or basketball. Next, we have a cube. A cube is a shape that has, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. Each one of these sides is called a face. And on a cube like this one, the edges meet at corners like this, and like this, and like this. See if you can find a cube around your home. Next, we have a cone. For my cone, I have this object right here. And it's really small, but it's a type of cone. And a cone has a circular bottom. So see how this is a circle right here. And it has a pointy top, just like this one. Or just like an ice cream cone. Cool. Next, we have a cylinder. A cylinder has a circle face, has 1, 2 circle faces. So I have this side and this side. And it's round all the way down. This is a cylinder. Cool. And our last one is a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And I found this in my kitchen. It's a box of pasta, but it has 2 long sides and 2 short sides that are even, just like a rectangle, but it's a 3D shape, 3-dimensional shape. Cool. Now, I want you to think of things that you notice about these shapes. Think of how many sides or faces they have. Think of how they feel when you touch them. And I want you to write 2 things that you notice down below. Let's keep going. Right now, you can pause the video and find all these different types of shapes around your home, and then draw a picture of what you find next to each one. Once you've done that, go ahead and turn the page. The next thing that we're going to be looking at is this page that says cut and sort these shapes. So instead of cutting and sorting, so you don't mess up the next page, I want you just to draw each of these shapes that you see down below into where it goes in the chart. So if you see a sphere, like this shape, for example, you're going to draw this shape right here that you see over here in the spot. So it would look something like this, like that. Let's do one more together. The next one says, the next picture right here is of a cone. So I'm going to look for where it says cone. This says sphere, cylinder, cube, rectangular prism, cone. Found it. I'm going to draw the best cone that I can looks something like that. Let's do one more together, actually. This next picture right here, I think that's a cube because I can see that all four sides on its face are even, are equal length sides. So I'm going to draw a cube the best that I can over here. It's going to look kind of like this and like this, like that. And don't worry if your drawings aren't perfect. Mine aren't perfect, but I'm just trying my best to draw these shapes as best as I can. So that's what you're going to do next. And after that, it's your independent practice. So you're going to turn to the next page and get to work on that. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you soon. Bye.